Hello, welcome to my channel. I am Lord Waggy and this is my Demon Souls review. So, the first thing you'll notice about this game is it looks nothing like the original. And I must admit, this really sets the tone for the next From Software game, Elden Ring. Not to talk too much on that, but I bet it'll look even better than this does, and well, that would be pretty amazing. So, the studios who were in control of this game have done an amazing job on the details of the world and the details of the characters. So, let's first talk about your character that you create in the game. The animations and the way you roll now are very on point, they're very realistic now, which I think is a really good thing about the game. And parrying and backstabs in this game now make you feel very powerful whilst doing them. Honestly, I just think the animations are very on point with this. I must admit, during my playthrough, I didn't do a lot of fat rolling in the game now. I preferred the normal rolling to that. Also, the character creation on this game is extremely good. I could do quite a lot with my character compared to other Souls games. I was actually really impressed with the character creation, so I'm really happy with that, to be honest. So yeah, that's the character, that is my thoughts on the character and its animations and stuff. So let's move on to the game's worlds. I think the game's worlds are quite difficult. I must admit I had quite a hard time throughout this game. I even had to figure out some sort of way to kind of boost myself with souls. But the method I was using was actually quite useful. It gave me a lot of healing items throughout this game, and believe me, I needed these items. Just saying, you know, the boss on screen right now, it was extremely annoying to beat. Offline and online, it just annoyed me. Offline, it just kind of ran at you constantly, attacking you. Online, you had to beat another player, and for some reason, I just found this super difficult. I'm usually quite decent to PvP, but damn, yeah, I sucked. Anyway, back to the worlds. I do think that some of the map design was a little bit tedious. You can get to some points where you're on the edge of a cliff running down to your next area, and you can be swarmed by a few skeletons as well as some stingrays in the sky, which is this location right here, and it sucked. But I digress, it was something I found difficult, so yeah, I mean, it is really fun. It like trying to figure out what you should do here. I didn't really find out a decent way to progress here. I just kind of dealt with the situation, and sometimes I even tried to run past it quite a few times. But yeah, I assume everybody else found this extremely easy. There was one map design though that's kind of just annoyed me more than anything, and it was random holes on the map. I suppose it makes sense if you can see them, but if you're just running straight forward and you die, I did not like this, especially with the progress I made throughout one of the maps. I think it was the prison map, and all of a sudden I just kind of dropped down into my death, even though it looked like it was the way I was supposed to go. So yeah, that really sucked. But after actually beating the areas, I mean, these areas are probably the most difficult areas I've actually played within a Souls game. But actually, you know, after beating them, it felt amazing. And once you got to the boss fight, it felt even harder, you know? It was like it was just such an intense situation. And what made it worse was if you actually failed in this boss fight, you'd be sent back to your altar, and when you're sent back to your altar, you lose all the herbs you use to get there and within the boss fight, so you may actually have to go farm for some more herbs, or you could just wing it and go in the boss fight with what you have left. Most of the time for me that did not work at all. But yes, definitely this made the boss fights and the game itself just 10 times more difficult. But let's say you were playing Dark Souls right now, you ran up to this boss, you got beat, you still had your Estus, did you not? In this, if you lose all those heals you worked hard to gain, you're gonna have to go farm all over again. And it's what makes the game enjoyable, you know? It makes it different from the other Souls games, and it is one of a kind in itself, which makes it pretty amazing. And I feel without this, I think the game wouldn't feel as terrifying as it is. As I walked through this world, I feared death, for definite, especially in a swamp area. It sucked. Just saying, I might do that a lot because I kind of sucked at this game, so yeah. But yes, anyway, yeah, I just want to say, like, the worlds in this game are definitely fantastic. I definitely rate these worlds in this game, and how it feels so different to, say, Dark Souls or you know, the other Souls games. It's just, it's terrifying to die here. It really is. It just brings out that fear about dying more so than the other games did. And I praise it for that. It makes this game so enjoyable. Anyway, let's talk about the bosses. So in Demon Souls, the bosses are pretty awesome. I must admit there are a few which are just giant gimmicks, which is a giant shame actually. I'm going to point out one in particular which stood out to me like a sore thumb. And you could probably guess it. Go on, have a guess right now. Yep. It's the Dragon God. I did not like this boss fight. It was just a giant gimmick. You had to hide from the boss. It sucked. I just hated this boss fight. It took me forever to actually figure out what on earth I was supposed to be doing. Mostly because I just kind of got swatted every time I went into this boss fight. And yeah, oh dude, it sucked. It really did suck. But other than the Dragon God, I can't say many bad things about the boss fights, except the monk, obviously, because that also sucks. I hated that boss fight. I just died so much with it. Oh god. But yeah, honestly, the boss fights were brilliant. I really enjoyed them. A lot of them, and you know, they brought out that fear of the death. Definitely. A lot of the time you did have to find some sort of pattern. I know sometimes it kind of felt random too. So it was really fun. Some of the bosses were very difficult as well, like the Flame Lurker. I found the Flame Lurker very hard, and I was so happy when I beat this boss. It was epic. It was an epic battle. But yeah, definitely another thumbs up for the bosses. I just loved getting into these areas and taking on the boss. It felt amazing to beat them, and I urge anybody to play one of these games and do the same thing. So this is a question for anyone who has actually played this game. What was up with the ending? It was a bit dodgy. I actually thought the game would still go on, and I was pretty sad about that. So yeah. Okay, I don't want to talk about this for too long, but you know, the invasions and the summons, I think that could be done better. On this, you can only do this in spirit form. For me, that doesn't really give you like a proper PvP feel to the game. I just found this section a bit of a shame because I quite like the PvP in Souls games, and I just felt like it wasn't really necessary in Demon Souls. So yeah, nothing like the Dark Souls games in PvP, but still fun. It is still fun. Just saying, it only works if you're in spirit form. Same with being summoned for a boss fight. So yeah, that's just how it works in Demon Souls. Not a big fan of that, but yeah. Anyway, I just want to say, overall, this game was fantastic. Like, I'm serious, it was an excellent game, and I urge any PS5 owner to play this, pick it up, play it, and just enjoy the torture. Definitely. So, I hope you enjoyed my review, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. It will help me out a lot, and maybe you can catch one of my streams in one of these days. That would be pretty awesome. So yeah, I have been Lord Waggy, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.